Okay, welcome back to Dojang on the Deck. Let's have a look at Do San. 4 areas I want to cover off. So the first one, coming out of the outer forearm high side block. So movement number 1, from here into that classic capital D shape. So by that we mean we drop and we come slightly forward and around, and then as much as we can we drop straight down into our reverse punch. So from here, down, up, down. And what this hopefully tries to achieve is us not punching on the way back. Okay, so we don't want to punch on the way back, we want to punch on the way down. So from here, down, up, down. Here. So if you see, I'm slightly moving up and then dropping down. And that's what we refer to as that kind of capital D shape. And then we spot turn, we do our second one here, and down, up, down. So forward, up, and then drop like a capital D. Yeah. And then we move on into our pattern. Okay, the second one is coming out of the straight fingertip thrust. So we have our little release technique. Also important to remember too is that the fingertips are level here. So whenever we use, I don't know whether you can see that, but whenever we use the tips of the fingers, we try and level them off, but not for a knife hand, because the knife hand doesn't use the fingertips, it uses the side. So another common error, while I think of it, is knife hands that are shaped with the fingertips straight. Sort of like this, I don't know whether you can see that. Okay. It should be with a knife hand, fingers essentially straight, slightly bent, bend the thumb and try and tense the outside, but not like this for a knife hand. Only when we use the fingertips, so here, or here, or here. Straight, flat and upset. Anyway, here we are in Do San. So we're here, we do our release. So basically we're just pivoting on the balls of our feet into a kind of a sitting stance up on the balls of the feet. And as we turn, we want to separate the arms just slightly in order to create backward motion for the back fist strike. So the back fist, if we think about the fore fist, and we walk over the top, that's the back fist. Temple height. Okay? I do it from this position here, we release, separate the arms just a little bit, release, just a little bit, create backward motion, and then we can strike. Okay, lots of hip. If your techniques feel like they want to use a lot of hip, then you should let your body do it. Okay, and this is a classic example of that. So from here, we release, slight separation of the arms, not too dramatic, and back fist strike. And then together for the second one as well. Okay. The third is what I've referred to as rocking, and we see this a lot. Regardless of rank, you'll see this all the time. And by rocking, I mean when we come out of our wedging block, forearm wedging block, we do our middle front kick here, and what students tend to do is when they punch, they rock forward and then they rock backwards. Okay? So this is the sort of thing you'll see a lot. A kick. So of course, within the context of the pattern, after our front kick, we should be landing in a walking stance. So heels flat on the floor. But what we see is this kind of movement forward, so the rear heel comes off the floor. So what we need to try and do, kick, find our walking stance, lift the heel up, and pop our second punch in. I'll do it this way and see if it's any different. Here, kick, and not rocking. And we'll see this another 2 or 3 times as we go through the patterns. So lastly is right at the tail end of Do San, from our knife hand strike. Remember knife hand, so don't level the fingertips, leave them almost straight. Here, stepping together, and our sine wave starts from this position when you transfer weight from one foot to the other. Okay, here, transfer the weight, and if my hands are my feet, the right foot slightly forward in an arc shape. Here, step, turn, and strike this way. So my feet are stepping together, and then the right foot is slightly arcing, maybe half a foot in front, not very much at all. From here, striking. Okay, so capital D shape, down, up, down, spot. Here, the release. Here, slight separation of the arms, creating backward motion. No rocking from the front kick. So find your walking stance. Lift straight up and down. No backward motion in the reverse punch because it's performed in fast motion, so there's no time to do backward motion. And the last one is the arc in the feet. Step together, slight arc in the right foot, and striking. And back. And you're good to go.